Hey everyone, so today I'm in Miami at the Twin Lakes Elementary School and I'm looking at the Food Forests in Schools program run by the Education Fund, which is a fund that comes out of the Miami-Dade County area. So you might not believe it, but we turn through 180 degrees, we come to the food forest. And fabulous food forest that's been here for quite a while. And I'm going to be talking with Debi Labelle, who's one of the leaders behind the Food Forest program for the Education Fund. And Debi's going to take us on a tour of this fabulous school garden.
My name is Debi Labelle, and I'm a program manager for the Food Forest for Schools.
Yep.
It works with the Education Fund. We're a local nonprofit that works with Miami-Dade Public Schools.
Yep.
You're standing in the first food forest. We started this in about 2013, 2014.
Yep.
My partner, who you'll meet later, Eddie Racinos, he was the art teacher here at this school.
Oh, okay.
And ironically, he wasn't allowed to walk across the grass during school hours, so he created a pathway from the art room, which is on the other side of the hallway, to here, and he created a garden around it.
Wow.
To creatively give himself access from one end to the hallway to
one
the other.
end to the other.
Wow. So then what you see right now is our outdoor classroom, one of our outdoor classrooms at this food forest. So a lot of times the administrators at the school, the kids are out here working in the garden or learning lessons, they sometimes see it as playing.
Yep.
And so we integrate a classroom area into all of our food forests. So when the administrators come out, they see kids working, and they'll be walking around doing their lessons or activities, but they also have an area to sit down and, for the teacher to group them at the beginning and at the end to reevaluate what the lesson that they learned
doing.
that day.
Yes, fantastic.
So as far as plants, we're surrounded right now with Chaya. It's also known as a Mayan spinach.
This is Chaya?
All of this is Chaya.
Including this one?
Including this one.
Slight
so
variation.
There are two different variations.
Yeah.
Ironically, and we had no idea, we started noticing the Atala butterfly this summer.
Okay.
It's one of the endangered butterflies.
Oh.
So, and it's a beautiful blue and red butterfly. It's beautiful.
And tropical butterfly.
Yeah, and we're super excited to see. We had no idea that the Chaya could be a host plant for it. We did know it's an amazing pollinator, and you'll see the bees around it all the time.
Yes.
But we didn't know the Atala found it as a host plant.
Oh, wow. Okay, and there's the flower. Right there. Yeah. And so you eat the leaf?
You can eat the leaf. This one does need to be cooked before. You need to boil it first. Okay. But in South America, in the Mayan culture, this was like a staple leaf crop for them. And Chaya. It's highly nutritious.
Right. Any idea what the botanical name of Chaya is?
I can't remember it off the top of my head. I have it written down though.
That's okay.
I have it in a book.
It's all good.
So and then it's given them a nice little shaded area that the students can work in.
Beautiful spot. Yeah, and you guys you're doing a bit of gardening underneath the Chaya?
Yes, so school opens on Wednesday, and we're bringing in some fresh mulch and getting rid of some of the grass that grew over the summertime.
Yep.
We work with a local arborist who delivers mulch, clean mulch.
Oh, great.
That's great so we don't have to purchase any mulch, and it's all donated to the schools.
Awesome.
So this starts the actual start of the food forest, where we have some native plants. We have some citrus. This is a Calamondin. So it's just like a sour orange.
Yeah. And a dwarf. It doesn't grow that big. Hey.
Yeah, in the Caribbean, this is a very Caribbean community, there's a lot of Cuban refugees that live here in Hialeah.
Yeah.
So it's something that when we harvest everything that's being grown at the schools and we give it out on a weekly basis.
Yes.
And even through the education of the parents, now they're requesting certain items to be brought home with them. So they'll ask for the Calamondin.
Yeah, so culturally important food.
Yes.
To Cuban culture.
And then we also, you know, we push our vegetables a little bit, and we try to introduce them to new varieties and new things
from a nutritional point of view. Yeah, okay.
So the what's here with the pink flowers, this is called a Surinam spinach or a Filipino spinach.
Oh yes.
It's actually in the ginseng family.
Yes, we grow this in Brisbane in Australia.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
So I mean, and it's great in salad. Resident decided to move the
resident peacock. There you go. That's what everyone needs in a food forest is a peacock. Wow. I noticed this looks to me like gotu-kola.
No, this is actually just a dollar weed, but we do have gotu-kola around the food forest.
Okay. There you go.
You'll see a lot in all of our food forests. You'll see a lot of the Cuban oregano, sometimes it's called Mexican mint. It has so many different
Mexican
names.
mint, Spanish sage, mother of all herbs,
exactly.
5-in-1 plant.
So traditionally in Cuba, they'll use this, they'll brew it as tea to help with phlegm, and it's what naturally they want to use, and they're black beans, which is a staple meal for
when they cook black beans, a bit of that goes into the meal.
Yes. So this is always flying out the door with the students, and they're always picking little bits off to take home.
Yeah.
And then we have more Chaya. This is a Neem tree.
Oh, Neem tree. Yep.
So when it was smaller, we actually would trim it a lot and spread the leaves in the garden to help keep the nematodes away. Natural
insecticide and a companion plant to mangoes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in India, where the neem tree comes from, it was traditionally planted with mango.
Oh, that's really cool.
In groves with other plants. So some of the figs as well. There'd be like groves of trees they call them sacred groves, and the neem tree would be part of that system.
It's a beautiful tree. It's grown amazing.
They are beautiful trees, neem trees. Yeah. Lovely shade trees as well. Yep. Yeah. Oh, great. Yep. Terrific.
African blue basil is actually a mule, and it propagates by cutting. So the bees love it. It's a great pollinator, even though it doesn't produce any seeds. And tropically, it doesn't get a lot of the black spot or blight that some of the other basils will get.
Yes.
With all of our rain and humidity.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with this plant. One of the African basils. Yeah.
Yeah, the other
basils.
The other basil or basil that we'll use is the tulsi.
Sacred basil.
Yep. It grows. Again, it loves the heat. It loves the humidity of Miami.
Yeah.
Moringa. I mean, we have moringa everywhere. We teach the kids. We call it the vitamin leaf, and they'll come out and they'll come out and just take one little leaf and eat it and tell us that they ate their vitamins for the day.
Right. Well, I need to take one little leaf today.
So this is the art room. They have it closed right now, but we will. You see, the Cuban oregano is taking over on the inside.
It does. It gets going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
But we'll use that as like a propagation area and a plant nursery to continue the plants on.
Yeah, right. So the art room's become a little bit of a nursery zone as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, art and plants, they go together.
They do go together. Yeah.
And the art teacher is heavily involved. You can see they've introduced a lot of artwork into the food forest as well.
Nice.
This is all student art, so the kids are always very happy when they come out here and they see their artwork.
Yeah.
So prominently displayed.
Yeah.
So lemongrass.
Lemongrass, yes.
Staple in all of our food forests and a lot of the Caribbean culture to have teas. Fever in Jamaica, they call it the fever tree.
Yes, and
fever bush.
This one looks like the West Indian lemongrass, as opposed to the Indian lemongrass, which is a smaller plant. This is the bigger one. Yeah. Yep. great.
Go into the shade.
Into the shade. Yeah. Yeah.
This gorgeous tree is a hog plum.
Hog plum?
Hog plum. So again, the Caribbean residents of the area love it. In the spring, in the winter, it goes dormant. In our winter, so you know.
Okay.
Our lows in the 60s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're not getting right down into the frost line, of course.
Yeah, it'll lose
Miami.
all of its leaves, and then it produces these little red plums that kind of have a, I don't know, like a little mango-y taste to them.
Ooh,
it's really nice, but you'll see even parents, they'll come into this back parking lot and start picking all of it.
It's overhanging into the parking lot. Oh, yes. Nice. And isn't it, you know, that sort of accidental interaction that happens. It's sort of a really nice outcome.
I think we might have to trim that branch though.
It's
a parking spot might not be able to be used.
It's a parking spot, not an orchard. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Nice, and a little bit of water for the birds and
the peacock.
And for the peacock, yep.
And then we have, I think this is the lemon bay. Yes, this is the lemon bay.
Oh, what a beautiful smell.
It's amazing. It helps keep the bugs away, so we'll tell the kids instead of using insect repellent, just to rub some of this on their arms, and it will help keep the mosquitoes and the bugs away. Yeah. As a natural
insecticide. Yeah, and it's got a very similar smell to an Australian native plant, the lemon myrtle.
Yeah, it's a myrtle. So we found with the hurricanes, because we have such high winds and the hurricanes that come through here, the myrtles do really well. So we do the lemon bay, we do a bay rum, which has a little bit of a spicier smell to it.
Yeah, right.
And allspice.
Ah.
So they all stood up well to hurricanes.
To hurricanes. they can withstand a battering and then they just come back.
Exactly. Like this one, when Hurricane Irma came through, it tilted it a little, but it didn't stop it from growing.
Yeah. No, it's going well. It's going really well. Wow. Make a tea with it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tea, rices, soups.
Yeah. Awesome. Right, and so the garden just has rolled on.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah.
And then once we clean up some of these beds, like we'll get the weeds out, and when school starts again, we'll add in, usually our food forests are about 80% perennial and about 15% is the annual. It's like the kids, they still need to learn how to grow tomatoes and peppers and all the other fun stuff.
Right, and so are the kids actively involved in the growing of the food?
Yes.
So, you know, like you're doing some maintenance work today, but how much, I guess, how much are the kids involved? Are they out here every week maintaining?
Yeah, we try to get the kids out here as often as possible. We come out about every 2 weeks to help with the maintenance, because it can become overwhelming for the teacher to be teaching and doing maintenance at the same time. Yeah,
and particularly in a tropical or a subtropical climate where in summer things are growing so quickly, you know, and the weeds are just taking off and they're growing an inch in a day. And
so most of our schools do have like a weekly garden club that will meet as well. So they'll do activities out here for science and math, but they'll also come out here and do maintenance at the garden club.
At the weekly garden club.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, yeah. Great.
So keep going.
Yeah.
It's our ugly spot of...
The ugly corner. Every community garden needs an ugly corner. It shows that you're doing good work.
Our random equipment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then usually once the school year starts going, they'll do the composting and barrels.
Okay, so you're actively composting at the school?
Yes.
Collecting all the...
In a couple different ways.
In a couple of different ways, yeah, great.
So we have more of the chaya. This is actually called Haitian basket vine. Haitian basket vine. Okay. So in Haiti, they'll call it legume, and this is the staple vegetable for most Haitian meals. They just kind of like pick the leaves and throw it into their different soups and stews.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Nice. That sort of reminds me of bougainvillea or one of the
very, very well.
Ornamentals. Must grow like crazy, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on in. We have more of the Chaya.
Yep.
This is a pineapple verbena. It's a bush from the Middle Islands in the Bahamas, and they call it Moujean tea.
Moujean tea, love it.
So we're giving you a whole Caribbean lesson today.
Yeah, absolutely. This is new, but I think maybe application in tropical Australia too.
Oh, awesome.
I can see plants already I'd like to try.
It has this amazing, like, citrusy vanilla smell to it.
Oh God, I got it. Okay, let's have
And then it's very relaxing, so we'll teach the kids, like, when they're feeling stressed out with school, to come out here and take a whiff of it. Or
it's a very nice, subtle smell to it.
Exactly. Or the teacher will come out and make some flavored water for the kids to drink. And it just naturally helps to just relax them and ease some of the stress of the school day.
That's so good.
We put way too much pressure on our kids, I think, sometimes.
Absolutely. The modern life can be hard on children. So, hey, this is sanctuary,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have this in a couple different spots. This is an Acerola cherry or a Barbados cherry.
Very familiar with that plant.
So again, when the kids start coming in, it's a germ fest at school. We tell them to come out and eat the cherries, boost their vitamin C.
Get the vitamin, It's not only food, it's medicine.
Yes, definitely. So the butterflies love all of these pollinators.
Yeah, there they are. Another Acerola cherry.
Another Acerola.
Yeah. Or sometimes called a Barbados cherry?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I was talking to somebody from Jamaica and they got very upset the other day when they said Barbados can't claim ownership of that tree.
No, it's probably where some European plant hunter first found it. It's probably all over the Caribbean, I would imagine.
June plum, so it's another Caribbean plum that we grow.
Yeah.
Again, in the Jamaican community, they go nuts over this, and Miss Sheriff is Jamaican, so there's a lot of Jamaican influences into this food forest.
The Jamaican, Cuban, Caribbean food forest. Great. Yeah.
And then this is I don't know if I still have the lemon. I think this is another lemon bay.
Lemon bay. Yeah. They've got a much wider, a much more tropical sort of leaf than a Californian bay tree.
So the bay laurel, we have one of those here too.
Yeah. Great.
It just keeps on going.
Yeah.
Another June plum.
What's this one, Debbie? No?
I think that's just a pollinator plant.
Okay, one of the support plants.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the same as this one here. That's a royal poinciana.
Oh yeah.
Bright red flowers.
Yes, a Dolonix. Dolonix Chaya. And a pollinator.
Yes.
Regarded as a pollinator plant here. Okay.
And a great shade tree.
Amazing shade trees. Yeah.
And they also hold up. They hold up under hurricanes, so you'll get some dropped branches, but very rarely do they fall over or have issues with hurricanes and high winds.
Yeah. Dolonix is or the poinciana is a very common tropical tree in Australia. Planted a lot for mainly for its amenity and its flowers.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep on going.
Yeah.
We have some more bay.
And so is that sort of a thing that's driving the choices of plants, like the children or their parents are saying, we would like?
Sometimes, the parent will come in and be like, can we get this growing in our food forest?
Yeah.
And of course, if we can find it, definitely we'll start growing it. And then it's also introducing things to the parents that they might not have known.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, great. That's so good. It's sort of a blend of familiarity, but also just edginess a little bit, and pushing people into thinking about different
Exactly. And
foods.
then we do a lot of nutrition education for the kids and for the families. My background, I was a chef for 20 years.
Oh.
So I'm all into what you can eat to heal your body and you know, feed your soul.
And feed your soul, absolutely. Fantastic. All right.
Okay. We have, this is a Oaxacan lemon verbena. So it's a super lemony. It's, again, great with teas.
Yeah, it's the classic verbena sort of smell.
And calming again. So we like all those calming herbs.
And a perennial in this climate.
Oh yes, it'll take off.
Yeah.
But the kids like that lemony smell to it.
Oh, it's so uplifting. You know, I think there's a bit of aromatherapy that goes on, isn't there? Like, it's a very uplift. Same with the lemon bay. Yeah,
Miss Sheriff, our teacher, she's in the past, with a couple years ago, she had her students who were, you know, end of year testing. It was becoming a lot for her students.
Yep.
And she gave them all of her students a little bag. And told them to come out into the food forest and for them to pick their favorite smells, whether it was rosemary, lemon verbena, bay rums, whatever smell spoke to them.
Yes.
She told them to put it in their bag and they would keep it in their desk. And then when they started feeling overwhelmed in the classroom, they could take it out and use those smells to calm themselves.
How good is that? That's such a clever idea, but such a simple idea too.
Yeah, and it was, every kid is different, every person is different, so what speaks to me may not speak to another student. So instead of telling them this is going to calm you down, they came out here and they picked what calmed them down.
You work it out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very personal. That's great. Oh, I think these are what Americans might call bananas.
Yes.
What Aussies would call bananas.
So this is, I would say, the cornerstone of all of our food forests. We always have banana circles.
Right.
Or compost circles.
Yes.
You know, the bananas are a great staple crop here in the schools because they grow so prolifically, and especially once they have enough compost going into the center of them. So as we trim the food forest and clean everything up, everything goes into the center. Yeah,
and you can see it down here, can't you? It's all a big pile of rotting compost feeding the bananas. Different types of bananas you have in here? Yep.
Yeah, we have about, I would say, 3 to 5 different varieties of bananas, from red bananas to the Buddha hands. And
great, yeah. And looks like maybe you got a dwarf Ducasse or something like that.
Yeah, we went for all smaller bananas. When we first started the food forest, we wanted to, you know, to show height and how everything was so, like, growing so amazing. Yeah. But then we realized that the kids couldn't harvest the bananas.
They actually get to them,
So we started growing more of the shorter varieties, and so that the kids can actually watch the flower open up and the bananas to form. And I mean, it's just amazing life science right there.
Yeah, great. What a great lesson that is. And I'll talk to you guys more about this, but you were saying that the school curriculum is now integrating into the food forests as well.
And we work also closely with food and nutrition. So in every school here in Miami-Dade schools, the school lunch, they have compostable trays. So we've been doing a lot of education on how to, like, clear their plates off of any meat or things that would, you know, attract unwanteds in the
vermin
compost.
into the garden.
But we do tell them to clean it off, and then we can put them out here, not every day, but in limited supplies. And then Dr. Rockwell, actually, when we first started working with her and her students, her graduate students, the first experiment that she started doing was they put bags to see how fast the compost would break down in the banana circles. And they had to keep upgrading the bags to tougher materials because within a few days the bags were completely disintegrating.
I love it.
Another classroom area back here. So this school has about like 3 different classroom areas, so you can have multiple classes out here at one time.
Oh wow.
This may not be interesting to you, but for us here in the U.S., we're a bit far from Southeast Asia. So the kaffir lime or the makrut lime is
Thai lime.
It's an amazing staple. We like to have a lot of leaf crops.
Yes, easier to grow and full of flavour.
Or waiting for a citrus tree to produce a handful of oranges or limes.
Yes.
The kids can come out here and get that lime flavor all year long by just picking the leaves, adding it to their water.
Yes.
Again, if it's a de-stressor for a student, they can come out here, and if this is what helps them.
Yeah. And if mum or dad want to try out a bit of Thai cuisine, they can make a green curry. You don't have cookie cutter food forests. Yes.
Like, we don't go in and say you have to plant these 5 trees and these plants. Like, we have a teacher that we're in contact with at each of our food forests.
Okay.
They get grant money every year.
Yeah.
So if they go to a tree sale and they see something that they want to try, they're more than welcome to try those.
Yeah, right.
Those plants. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, great. And is that how can I say? Is there a design process you go through with the school or with the teacher? Am I right in saying that Eddie might come out and actually draw up a design and then talk about that with the school community? Is that?
Yeah. So Eddie usually comes up with the design. Yeah. I can cook, but I can't draw a straight line.
Oh, good. You should be a designer.
So Eddie has this amazing artistic vision, and he can go into the area. Most of the schools start out as an edible garden, so they have somewhat of
They've already got a little
box bed area.
Okay, raised garden beds.
He'll come in and he'll design around that, and it just makes it beautiful.
Okay, and off it goes from there, and then a bit of a discussion about what plants you would like to see in the garden. Is that?
Yeah. So if there's an existing tree that's already there, he'll work around it, and if they want to add trees, or we'll talk to them, but we add a lot of the myrtles, and we do have some staples, Acerola cherries, that we encourage them to have, but it's definitely not mandatory to have any.
You've got to have this
tree.
plant, Oh, great.
Another aspect that we do in all of our food forests is we do. In subtropical climates, wood breaks down very easy and very fast.
Yes.
So we will use these concrete paving stones as border stones, which are just a little more expensive in the upfront, but they will last for many more years.
They will last a long time.
And then a lot of the schools we realized had a lot of drainage issues. And back here it's not so much of an issue, but up front where the classrooms were, sometimes it would flood if we get torrential downpours, and it'll flood into the sidewalks, and the kids were having to walk on these flooded, wet sidewalks in the afternoons. So we dig out about 3 inches down. And then we put the gravel and the pea rock, and then the river rock, and then we'll put the
good.
So it helps to feed the beds, but it also helps control flooding in these areas.
Very clever. It's something you sort of don't really notice, but it's important. So it's a
loose take on a French drain.
It's that's right. It's like a French drain. Well, based on those principles anyway.
So we have the gate there, so our friendly arborist will just back the truck up and dump the compost here. You can tell it's been sitting all summer, so it's
broken down a bit.
I mean, it's just gorgeous. That's going to help feed the soil in these garden beds, and it's full of, animal life and
worms in it. In the tropical heat, things just break down so quickly.
So that's just pure nutrition for the trees.
Cycling nutrients through the system is really fundamental.
We have some extra, again, ugly spot, but this was left over from when we were working on those pathways.
It's like another tropical fruit tree.
This is the black sapote, or the pudding.
Chocolate pudding fruit.
Fruit.
Yeah, one of my favourites. Love it. Yep. And a lovely shade tree too. Yeah.
And then we have the nopal.
Oh yeah, of course. Central American Mexican culture, I guess, is alive and well in Miami.
Yeah, so this is a thornless one, but we do teach the kids, it does have those little sticky hairs, so not to touch it, but we will harvest it and send it home with the students.
And nopal. And what is the classic cuisine that is made, do you know?
It's used a lot in Mexican cooking, but it's also used in the Caribbean as well.
In the Caribbean, okay,
More chaya.
Yep.
This is more the Moujean tea.
Yeah.
Here's the more the traditional bay laurel.
Yeah, okay. The sort of the classic bay leaf